going to be showing you how I do an acrylic fill, and this is on myself, but it's the same basic concept as doing it on me versus anybody else, and just kind of what fits I use. We're going to go over the basic techniques and some success tips for doing an acrylic fill. And if you're new to acrylic, I hope this really helps you out. If you have any questions whatsoever, whether they're acrylic specific or gel or fill or bits or e-files, what have you, you can always post a comment and I will be happy to respond, or either that or direct you to a video that goes over whatever your question is in depth, because I have other similar videos that cover different topics in the past. But this one, like I said, specifically an acrylic fill, I do one on myself every 3 weeks or so, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. So I hope you guys find this helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye!
So here is the old set, and if you want to see a video for this design, I can put a link to that in the description box below. But otherwise, we're going to start with what I call this is either a cone-shaped or a football bit. This is what I call a beastie one. It's very coarse. It's an extra coarse bit that's going to remove product quickly, and that is what I like. And I put it on, I'm using a Manny Pro Passport, which doesn't tell me exactly what the RPMs are, but a medium. So I'd say like 15,000 RPMs, give or take. And then we're just going to go through and we're going to remove the gel polish. And I'm doing this with a little more care because it's on video than I normally would. Typically, I'm just like, let's get this off as quickly as possible, and I just rip through it. So with that in mind, like I said, I do fills on clients, I do fills on myself. This is something I have experience with. If you are somebody that's doing this at home, use care, use caution, which is why I did so in the video, because you don't want to be reckless with an e-file, especially when you're using such a beastly bit. You want to, just really kind of carefully go over it and remove the gel polish. So you're going to just carefully kind of go over section by section. Try not to repeatedly file over the same spot over and over and over again, because you will get heat spikes. You will cause yourself what's called a ring of fire, and you may end up all of a sudden filing through more product than you intend to. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to use force. You don't want to push down. You want to be gentle with the nice little, almost like gliding motions. You want the e-file to touch the nail so it obviously can do its job, but you don't want to gouge it, if that makes sense. So you don't want to like dig it in. So if you're like, imagine just running your hand across like a new set of bed sheets. You're not going to dent the mattress. You're just running your hand across the sheets, if that hopefully makes some sense. So now here I have a little bit of lifting. I didn't really have any on my thumb to show you, so I decided, well, we're going to show you on some of my other nails. So I've got a little bit on my index finger and my middle finger. Always. It just is, a little bit, always happens. I'm going to take that same file and I'm actually going to turn it up. I'm going to increase my speed slightly. Again, normally I don't do this quite as meticulously or as cautiously as I'm doing for the video, but you're just going to, very gently go over that spot, and you're not going to file the lifting. The lifting shows up as a lighter patch. You're not going to file the lighter patch. You're going to file next to it. And what that'll do is it will create a nice smooth transition from the adhered acrylic to the nail where there isn't acrylic adheres to it anymore. So you're just going to kind of carefully go over that area. And if you're using a bit that has like a cone shaped or a football bit, you can use near the tip of the bit to kind of gently sort of bring that acrylic next to the lifting down to ease it and smoothly give it a nice smooth transition into your natural nail. And when you're doing this, don't rush. I know I said I'm usually more reckless than what I'm doing in the video, but just still don't rush it. You want to be careful, because this is the time when, if you're going to give yourself a ring of fire, it is now. So if you have a bunch of lifting, take your time. And even if you're somebody and you just don't want to risk it and you have lifting on, let's say, 3 fingers, rotate. Do, file for a little bit on your index finger, then move on to your middle and then your ring, and then do a second run at it if you need to, because then you give each of those fingers and that acrylic a chance to cool down and have a break if it is required. But once you have all of the lifting removed, you should almost have a difficult time telling where your nail ends and the acrylic starts, because there shouldn't be like an obvious edge. So now using a fine bit on high speed, so I'd say closer to 25,000 RPMs, I turn my e-file up quite high, you're going to carve out the shape. Now this is really only relevant if you're changing your nail shape. If you're not changing your nail shape, you can just shorten them, but still use a fine grit bit, and I like a barrel bit for this, and a high speed. The reason for that is you can get kind of this like jerky motion on the tip of your nail if you aren't using a high enough speed where the e-file catches. You don't want that to happen. It's not comfortable. You can end up breaking your nail. You want to use a very high speed and it'll cut through like butter. Use a high quality bit too. Low quality bits just don't do you any favors. I have a video specifically on my favorite bits. I will put a link to that in the description box below, and e-file safety too, because I'm going over some of that. But in general, for this particular thing, when you're filing the tip of a nail, you want high speeds. And you'll also find, because I'm changing the shape of my nail here, that you can go one direction. So from one side, I can go one way, and from the other side, I have to go the other way. So like from outside edge to the tip, and then tip to outside edge, if that makes sense. You got to go in the direction that the e-file wants to go. And then the other thing with this is that you just have to be careful not to hit your skin. So, change the shape to a certain extent, but the little fine detailing you're going to do with a hand file, which is what I'm doing now. And I kind of showed you the angle that I'm holding my hand file. It's almost underneath the nail. It's not directly like parallel or perpendicular, to the nail. You're almost going underneath it. You're catching the underside, because you don't just want to file the acrylic that's on top of the nail. You really want to make sure you're filing your natural nail almost slightly underneath and smoothing it out underneath the nail, which is something that you just have to kind of, it's just the angle of the nail file. So now after that's done, I've dusted my nails again. I use my duster brush a gazillion times when I'm filling, but then I'm going to push back my cuticles. I'm using a cuticle pusher, no creams, no cuticle remover, no water, nothing. You don't want to add any moisture to your nail plate. You're going to use a cuticle pusher, gently push back the living tissue. So you're pushing back what's called your proximal fold. You're not really trying to, gouge your skin. You're also not using too much pressure where you may lift up a layer of your nail. Just nice, gentle, even pressure on the cuticle pusher. Then you're going to take a cuticle bit. This one it's a ceramic bit, which I really like for cuticles. And this is the lowest speed my e-file will go on. And I'm going to just remove the dead skin cells. That this is actually the cuticle. So many people call other things cuticle. I myself have been guilty of this, calling, different parts of the skin a cuticle when it really is not. So all of this white flaky stuff that you see coming off my nail plate, unfortunately my camera's focusing on my other hand instead, that is the dead cuticle cells. And those are what you need gone. So you're going to take this cuticle bit, and you're going to just get rid of it. And this is actually an under the nail cleaner bit in a extra fine. And if you find one like that, that works really well. This one has a little bit of a point to it, which I actually don't prefer. I like the ones that are round tops better. And I decided to try this pointy one thinking it'd be better. And I don't know. I don't think it is, but just a really nice extra fine bit is what you want for that. Now, if you see any white skin that's kind of sticking up, that is what you want to nip off with your cuticle nippers. The jelly-like skin, so it's almost kind of a partially clear skin, leave that alone. That is living tissue. If you cut it off, you are exposing yourself to risk of infection, for one thing. But the other thing is it's like a callus. If you take it off, your body goes into hyperdrive and it goes, oh no, part of me is missing. Let's regenerate really fast. And it's like exponential. The more you cut it off, the faster it grows, the bigger it grows, the tougher it grows. So if you want to have, nice cuticles, nice skin surrounding your fingers, don't cut off living tissue. Use cuticle oil a lot, once, twice, 3 times a day. Anytime you wash your hands, if you really want to go all in for it, but don't cut it off. Once we have all that done, we're going to be cleaning our nail with a nail cleanser. Use one that is a mix of acetone and alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, not just one or the other, because they take off different types of nail oil. So you want to use a mix, and then grab your prep and prime solutions. For this, normally I'm not a huge stickler for working within the same brand, but for prep and prime, they are formulated to work together, to work with each other and enhance each other. Use the same brand, whichever brand it is you decide to go with. We're going to first apply the prep solution. A prep solution is going to balance the pH of the nail, and it's also going to give it a matte finish. After that's dried down, then you can apply your primer. And that's going to just really get the nail ready to adhere with the acrylic. So after you have that done, that'll end up with your nail looking shiny. You're going to tip your nail at a downward angle so that if you set a wet bead of acrylic on it, it's going to run towards the tip of the nail. If you tip your nail up so that you put the wet bead of acrylic down, it's going to run into your finger, then you're going to just cause yourself lifting problems down the line. Tip your finger down. This is the same thing for clients. Hold their finger at a downward angle. About 45 degrees is what I find to be comfortable. and work really well. If it's too far straight down, you just can't work on it because you'd have to contort yourself in all sorts of funny ways. And if it's flat or upright or anything else, it's going to run into the cuticle, like I said, cause issues down the line. Then, because this is a fill and not a full set, I'm going to set a bead about 1/4 inch away from my cuticle, gently press it up towards the proximal fold, and then pull it down the nail. After I have it pulled down the nail, I'm just going to make sure that there isn't any little spots that need to be fixed, or, there's no divots, no problems. I look at the nail from all angles to make sure that it is even from left to right. The thickest point, when you look directly down from the tip of your finger at the tip of your nail, should be right in the center. You should have a nice peak going up towards the center, sloping down on the sides. And the same thing when you're looking at it from the sidewall, you should have an apex. Once you're done with that, tap the nail to test for a clicking sound. It should sound like this. If it does, then you are ready to file. If it sounds like anything else, wait a minute. Depending on your climate, the type of monomer you're using, your acrylic may be ready after you're done with all 5 nails, or possibly maybe not. I tend to have really cold hands, just naturally. I always have icicle hands, so my acrylic isn't always cured by the time I get done with 5 nails. But then you're going to go through and file it. If my nails have a lot of buildup, a lot of bulk, I will use an e-file. If they don't, I usually skip the e-file for finished filing and just use a hand file. I always use a hand file either way, so I'll just use the e-file to remove extra bulk, and I'll use that fine bit that I use to change my nail shape. But then go over with a hand file. My favorite is the OPI Edge Files 180 grit. They are like, I don't know why, but they're the best that I've ever used. I am absolutely in love with those, and I will use one on myself over and over and over and over again. I, don't do that on clients, but if you're just doing them on yourself, then that's fine. File it into shape, do a wipe down with acetone, paint them to your heart's desire, and then finish the whole shebang with some cuticle oil. If you want to see the tutorial on this Cinderella set that I replaced my black and white or black and yellow and neon crazy ones, I will put a link to that in the description box below as well. But don't forget the cuticle oil. Really, guys, I can't preach that enough. Cuticle oil day and night. And I will see you guys next time. Like I said, happy to answer any questions. Bye!